Hey guys, I'm with Corey Baker down here. Now he has a legendary story and I'm gonna tell you why. He went from counted out, debt piled up, creditors looking for his freaking car, coming after him, and man, just in a really bad place, to being a guy that sold 64 cars. Now, if you're in sales, this is the story of going from the bottom to the top. If you're in car sales, you're gonna wanna stay tuned and watch what he has to say, because this guy truly changed his entire life. And we want to tell him that you can too, okay? So you're gonna be able to hear from a guy that's crushing it at the top of the industry, and he's gonna tell you some tips. I wanted to bring him out because I'm always telling you guys that it's possible, but I wanted to give you guys a living person that has done what I'm telling you guys that's possible for you, and let you guys get that belief from him. So watch this video, it's gonna be fire!
All right guys, so about 2 years and some change ago, I came into the car industry and I didn't know anything about cars. I didn't know the difference between a V8 and a V6, 4x4, 4x2. I thought when they said 4x4, they were talking about pieces of wood. So when I say I literally didn't know cars at all, I grew up watching sports and doing other things in life, right? So essentially I came in and I started just really working as hard as I could. I needed it. My family was in a bad position. I'm married, I have 4 kids, and everybody around me didn't believe in me, and essentially just my wife believed in me. But the worst part is, even where I was working at the time, all I had to go off on is videos on YouTube. So if you want to succeed at the highest level and you're starting at the bottom, right, you need to find what you're looking for on YouTube, Google, whatever it may be. I found Andy Elliott. I started studying him. 2.5 months go by, I'm making over 250 phone calls a day, not a month, 250 phone calls a day, posting over 50 pieces of content. I'm doing as much as I can, and I'm failing. I'm making about $200, $400 a month. My wife even called me and said, this is not our paycheck, is it? Because it's $212. Finally, I sold my TVs, took that money, bought Andy Elliott's 0 to 100K course, and I just dove in. When you have a mindset of want to win, no matter what anybody says, and you have that hard work ethic and you have that why, and you combine it with like the real education you need, listening to Ian Macklin and Andy Elliott, you can take yourself to another level. And you gotta remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So every single day for a very long time, the things I was doing that the people I was watching saying worked, wasn't really working, but it just takes time. And it was working, I just couldn't see it right away. It took me 9 months to sell my first car on Facebook. But right away, after about a month of really intensely studying and doing every single thing they're telling me to do, I made $8,800 and caught myself up. So to fast forward into the next year, I kept that same grind, 250 phone calls a day, 4 posts on Facebook, 4 posts on Facebook Marketplace, and I was just doing the marathon. Everybody tries to build Rome in a day. You're doing a schedule right now, you're doing things right now that are not gonna get you results. Then you're gonna take that and you're gonna go and start doing the things that will get you results, and you're still not gonna get results. People quit too soon. I held on. I was literally I was being sued by a credit card company. I was about to lose everything. I was coming home, my wife was boiling water because the gas was cut off. There was no belief, there was no proof this was even real, but I bought into it, and I had that undeniable belief that just like craziness that this was going to work, and it did. $8,800, caught up with my bills a little bit, 10K the next month, I never looked back. So keeping that mindset and belief, that's the first tip I want to give you, is like, no matter what anybody says, no matter how you're feeling, you just have to believe. You have to believe. Your whole life, you live on belief. If you listen to what other people say, it will just not work, no matter what. Look at any pro athlete. It just does. They're there because of what they wanted, and they might have had one person in their corner, right? So then fast forward, that's how I went from selling 0 cars a month to 20 plus cars a month. My first full year in the car industry, I made $155,000. Everybody at that dealership has been there 5-6 years, and the second place person made $50,000. It wasn't even close. Then Andy sends me a video, rejuvenizes me, even though I was already crushing it. I get recruited to another dealership. And once I got to that dealership, they were a bigger dealership. I knew there was more that was possible. That's why I went.
Hey, it's the Macklin twins. Thanks for watching the video. Listen, if you want our free word track guide, 52 word tracks will teach you how to dominate sales, just text 480-780-2203. It'll teach you how to dominate. Let's get back to the video. Text us, let's go.
Doing all those things got me better every single day. When you mass produce like that and you're working so hard every single day, you can catch a lot more mistakes quickly. So I was able to improve my phone skills, my tonality, my body language, the words I say, everything on a day-to-day basis. What did work, what didn't work, what could I have done better, what did I do wrong? I was at that level when I went to that next dealership. It was like, how do I sell 50? I know I can do it, but how? It's a unit-based store. There's a lot more inventory, right? So that's when Ian started pouring into me about branching out even more on social media, pushing even harder, using other resources like hiring an assistant, things like that. So really, to get off the ground, to get where you just need to make a living or even surpass that to like 100K, you just have to have that undying want to just succeed. Once you get past that and you start crushing it, things start to fall in place. Like I said, 9 months to sell something on Facebook, people think I just get it right away. It's been 2 years. I've already made over 200K this year. Everybody thinks it's so easy, but if you just knew how long that took, the depressing phone calls of family reaching out, wanting to buy a car, then don't buy for you. Friends reaching out, picking your brain, don't buy for them. Like, there's so many failures, and you just learn from them. You learn from them and improve every day. So once I said to myself, I'm going to sell 50, I took the new knowledge, and the second tip with what I would give you is always be expanding, always be a sponge. I knew I was good. I was closing high gross deals. It wasn't even close to the units I was selling. I was out smoking everybody. I got recruited. I just had Andy, Elliott, Ian send me videos and call me. I was on top of the world. You really couldn't tell me anything, right? But I didn't have that mindset. I had that always improving mindset. So now it's, how do I get even better? How do I go from 20 cars a month to 50 cars? I didn't want to do 30. I wanted to go straight to 50 because that was the record, right? So then you start time management, really being tedious about your time management, improving little things, closing the one-offs you're not closing, always getting better, right? Hiring an assistant. I don't care if your store doesn't allow it or not, you can still hire somebody to make calls for you. Things like that. Like, I have an assistant that helps me move along through the sales process quicker, right? So if I get somebody in, if I got 15 people messaging me on Facebook, I'll credit up, send it to my assistant. They'll start working it, I'll start working it. They'll come in, I'll do the deal. I'm the salesperson, right? Once I close it, push it over, they'll push the paperwork, deliver the vehicle while I move on to the next one. It's always improving, right? So the first tip is that mindset, that undeniable belief that you can succeed. Just never quit. Don't listen to others. Once you want to go to another level, it's about outsourcing. And it's the things you're going to try to do to be the best of the best are just not normal. Even just trying to go from 0 to 100K is kind of not normal. Nobody in my family made more than 50, 60, 70K, right? I'm over here, I'm at over 200 this year, and I should hit about 250 to 300 this year. And the third thing is, this job is so emotional, and even when you do great, you'll have one bad week and you'll come back down. Just stay to your roots and always analyze your days and your weeks. That's the biggest thing that's kind of kept my feet to the ground. I've literally sold 19 cars in a week. I've literally sold 9 cars in a day. And then, as good as I am selling 64 cars in a month, 55 cars in a month, things like that, I've had 2-3 day stretches where I sell 1 or 0. If I think I suck, I'm going to suck. If I think I'm great, I'm going to be great, right? So as long as you're always pushing to be better, keep a strong mindset, don't listen to the negative people, you will succeed from 0 to 100, 100 to 200, 300, and so on and so forth, okay? And just remember, Rome was not built in a day. Too many people want instant results. It took me so long. Things got worse and worse and worse. They started bad, they got worse. And it went from nobody believing in me except for my wife to I have my brother. I have a best friend that sells over 50 cars a month. And, I have Ian Macklin, Andy Elliott. I have managers that are on my side. My family members who told me I was being ridiculous for even trying to sell cars backing me. And I have a Facebook audience that I reach over 100,000 people a month. When I first started, the only like I got on Facebook was me liking my own post. And then I would have to bug my wife to like my own post. So hopefully this helps y'all. It's a mentality game. This whole thing's a mentality game. If you think you can't do it, you just won't do it. All right? And you're always trying to improve every single day. Whether you just don't know what you're doing and you're trying to figure it out, or to where you know what you're doing and you're trying to take that next step, always try to get better.
All right, guys, you just heard from somebody that's a 64 car hand. Listen, he told you some of the things, and I want to go back, some of the things that I learned, the dying want, the hunger. Listen, man, when all the cards are stacked against you, you got to believe in you. You can't lose that want. You can't lose that hunger. He talked about in a podcast that his wife was boiling water at home so their kids could have a warm bath, and he was going to work and he wasn't really working. And then he said, dude, screw this. That's not who I am. And he started self-investing. I wrote that down. Listen, he went and sold his TVs. He ripped them off the wall. He got mad at himself, but he knew that he could make it. He knew that there was a chance that he could be great. How many of you out there right now are bullshitting? How many of you out there right now are not giving it your all? You're going to work, you're telling your husband or your wife that you're going to do it, but you're not. Listen, man, if you want to come out on the other side, you see that tunnel, you want to come out on the other side in the light. Well, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to get nasty. In this podcast, he was talking about he didn't take a day off for 7 months. Some of you, I get on the phone with you and I'm just being honest. A good coach is going to have conversations with you that you don't want to have. I will bust your in the mouth because you want it. I don't care about your feelings. I care about you getting to your goals. And sometimes you're gonna have to have that person that's gonna kick you in the face a little bit, okay? He has those people in his life. I'm that person in his life that's not gonna let him not be accountable to his potential. Guys, you see that? He's not like some super crazy extroverted guy, but he's an introverted guy that said, man, I'm worth it, man. I can do it. I want each of you right now to write down that you are worth it. You can do it. If you believe it, if you invest in yourself, if you bet on you. He bet on him. He sold those damn TVs. He invested $299 in a course. Every day when he drove to work, listen, man, he wasn't listening to Travis Scott and Little Shawty and Cardi Bizzle and all that other shit. You know what he was listening to? Training. He was growing every day. He was going home and he was so tired. He was listening to Andy Elliott and training and us while he was freaking sleeping in his bed. His wife's got these crazy stories. Do you know how well it feels for him right now, for his wife to be proud of him, for his whole community? I've seen a lot of car salesmen in my lifetime. I've seen a lot of Facebooks engaged. He has built a community of people that are rallying around him and believing in him. But listen, some of you guys, you want the belief right now. You want the accolades right now. You want the trophies right now. You don't understand that there's some of us that have gone through hell to get to where we want to be. And you might have to go through that hell for 7, 8, 9, 10 months, right? He said a couple things about Facebook, staying consistent. Man, he watched some videos when we were talking about, dude, you're gonna have to post 8 times a day. He was the only person liking his post. How many of you get discouraged because some people aren't like, you ain't getting no traction on Facebook? Screw them, keep going. Keep going, man. Look what can happen in 9 months. Listen, he planted some seeds and then those trees started to grow and then those apples started to fall. But some people, they plant a seed and then the tree doesn't really grow. They mow down that crop, they go to the next crop, they plant the seed, they go to the next crop. All you got to do is put water on that crop, man. Don't give up. This story of his, man, it should motivate you that you got more. He said the word always more. I always knew there's more. Even when I was at 50 cars, I knew there was more. I knew that there was more. And then he said process, okay? Process. He got the mindset of selling 30 cars. He got the friendliness of selling 30 cars. He got the customer service skills of selling 30 cars. Sales training isn't just about high pressure and sales and objections and closing. I mean, listen, you know what it's really about? Making friends, making a community of people that believe in you because you treat them so good. They've never been treated that way. In a world right now that is not treating people good, all you have to do to stand out is outcarry your competition. If you outcarry your competition, you're naturally going to win because you're going to look different than everybody else. This guy is in a small town and you're like, he must be in a big market. No, he's in a small town where he is now in the market created a reputation in the marketplace, which is the definition of branding. Write that down. Creating a reputation in the marketplace of love, of care. And does he have to know how to handle objections and word tracks and know his business better than everybody else? Yes. Why? Because it takes the pressure out of the deal. When when you don't know something and your face looks like you don't know and they're like, this guy sucks, I'm leaving. And then they leave. He put processes in place as an entrepreneur. If you notice what he said, I had somebody calling all these leads because I started getting so crazy. How many videos have you watched of me and I've said that same thing? And then some people don't go put a process in place. They don't invest in their customers. They don't invest in the process. He invested in people to help him. But in order to do that, he had to become the leader, okay? So your back is against the wall. Bet on you. Listen, have good customer service, have good care, have belief in yourself, man. You can go follow him and see what he's doing, but I'm telling you, it all boils down to, do you want to change? Do you want to grow? Can you keep growing? Can you keep training? Can you keep transforming? Guys, this is the recipe of winning. Winning is now recognizing him. It's now seeing him, and it's attracted to him. The market's attracted to him. Why? Because of who he became. He wasn't attractive when he was in that first car and he was just trying to figure it out, and he was just, man, I want to be great. But he was going to work and not doing the work. And then you know what? He changed. He started doing the work. When he started doing the work, everything started to change. It's funny how that happened. So if you're out there, I want you to believe in you. I want you to take this story. I want you to watch it 5 times. I want you to understand that this guy went from average to savage. He went from counted out to counted on. He went from baby SEAL to Navy SEAL. He went from pretender to contender, okay? If that's you and you want to do that, you're gonna have to show up and deliver. You're gonna have to invest in yourself. You're gonna have to go to the next level, and I got your back. I'll always be here for you. Join us. Let's kick some ass. That's a story of greatness. That gives me the goosebumps. I'm fired up. I'm about to go be great. I'm about to go get on the phones. Let's go. I'm ready to sell.